Welcome to No Guitars Friday. No Guitars Allowed Friday. We are taking pictures today because Leslie got a new toy. You have a dead battery? So we got Leslie a new zoom lens. Sigma 150 to 600. It is huge. It is huge. But we're at this pretty much glorified zoo, I guess is what you would call it. And there's animals to take pictures of. I guess I need to go get you a new battery. So we do just so much traveling and wildlife stuff and hiking and various sightseeing that she wanted a longer lens to take pictures of animals and stuff. So we're sort of cheating, coming to this like wildlife preserve thing today. Just to get some miles on this lens to decide if it's something that's going to work. But I guess we'll see. It seems to be pretty awesome. It's f5 to 6.3, f5 at 150 mil and 6.3 at 600, which is pretty crazy. Super low, so I like that, and I think it's going to work. Of course, having to do it on a tripod or a monopod because
that's okay. Well, I cut it off. We'll talk about it later. It's gonna do what I want it to do.
Is it?
Yeah, I can already see it. I just think I wasn't as prepared as I could have been.
I'm wondering how fast that thing is gonna go through batteries, focusing that huge lens.
You think that's what it is?
I wonder. I do wonder. Well, on to the next place and we'll see. So she's over here with the huge lens, taking a picture of that flower, and there's a bee on it. But the minimum focus distance of this lens is 9 feet. So you literally have to be 9 feet away from your subject and then zoom back in on it. 600 millimeters, and we'll see what she gets. So one of the things I did this week is in this box, Mr. Old Faithful Weller soldering iron is finally starting to like give up the ghost and not give me consistent heat and all that kind of stuff. So I got a new one. So we're gonna unbox it, we're gonna check it out, and we're gonna give it a test. Shout out to my buddy at Runway Audio for showing me this soldering iron. He actually has a little bit different model, but I got this one mostly because of size considerations, because I didn't want to have a huge benchtop situation. There it is. Little dude for cleaning the tip. What else we got here? We got the wet sponge, but I actually never really use the wet sponge because I don't like it, what it does to my solder tip. And then here's the wand, handle, whatever you want to call it. Nice. On off switch over there. Where's the, oh, it's in the front. Okay. Cool. So there it is. I'm going to give the directions a quick read and set my, I think I can do preset temperatures. So I'm going to set 2 or 3 temperatures, probably somewhere around 650, 700, and then probably something up closer to 750 or 800. Have a couple of presets there. And then we will give this thing a rip because I have some stuff that I need to solder today. Okay, so we've got our Kester 6040 solder. And we've got our iron set at 700. Clean the tip really quick. Now this is probably the hardest thing hardest task that I put my soldering irons through is soldering on a base plate to a humbucker, because the base plate and the cover is nickel plated. A lot of times this is very, very difficult for a soldering iron to do. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and look how fast that's hot already. And that is done. Literally a touch and it's done. I've never had anything perform this good this fast. Even with my Weller iron, I don't want to say fight, but it takes 5 times as long. Here, let's just do the other side real time. Real time, no edits. Sorry, I'm looking in the viewfinder and looking at the work at the same time, so I'm kind of clumsy about it. I mean, that is insanity. And that's at 700. I used to have to go to 750 or 800 with my old iron. And that is a perfectly beautiful, super shiny, excellent looking solder joint. Like, wow. Anyhow, I'm super stoked with it. I think it's really, really killer. I guess we should start getting ready for the live show tonight. As I do that, I'm going to show you the gear that we use for the live show, because somebody actually asked this question specifically in Monday's video comments, and I thought, well, when I set up for the next live show, I'll briefly run you through what I'm using with another camera. So let's do that. Just this real quick. Okay. So I've got it set up for tonight's live stream, and some people have been asking in the comments how we do the live stream, because it's actually looking pretty good these days, and I have to agree. Somebody was asking what kind of camera we use, but I figured I would just quickly go through the whole setup so you kind of know what we're doing. And I'm actually kind of playing around with it. We have some other improvements that we want to make pretty soon, so I'm kind of messing around with various things and trying stuff. So first things first, the camera that I'm using is a Canon EOS R, so it's a full frame mirrorless camera, and it has a 24 to 105 lens on it. And if we're doing lives, it's all the way out at 24, so that when Leslie sits next to me, we're nice in the shot. For audio, we have been recently using the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro wireless lavalier mics. So there's a receiver that goes on top of the camera, and then I've got one in my pocket. Leslie actually doesn't use a lavalier. She actually just clips the little pack to her shirt or whatever she's wearing and talks directly into it. We might be trying some other things with that. I just bought another microphone the other day that I'm messing around with, the AKG Lyra, which is a really cool microphone. I really like it, and so I'm thinking about using that for some stuff as well. As far as how the signal gets into the computer, we have an HDMI cable coming out of the camera, going into the Elgato Camlink 4K, and then I've got a little, obviously a dongle because I'm using the Mac, and I use a MacBook Air, just the normal MacBook Air. I just got more RAM in it, and I got a little bit bigger hard drive because of all the video stuff I do. It has been fantastic. We broadcast in 720, we shoot in 1080, we shoot in 1080 and broadcast in 720. Because we live in a motorhome, our data is precious, so if I were to shoot and broadcast in 4K, it would be really, really heavy on our data load, and so that's why we do compromise on that. I wish we could shoot in 4K, but it just doesn't make sense for us. So that's that. So that's the camera, that's the microphone, goes into the computer. We use a computer software program called Ecamm Live, which I'm still playing with. We were using StreamYard for a while. I'm just trying to get things better, and now we can do the noises and we can do all of some of the other stuff. And also there's some multicam availability there too that I'm going to try in the next couple of weeks. I don't know if we're going to use it or not. I'm not sure, but I'm going to give it a shot. We light the whole thing with some lights in the motorhome in the ceiling, and then we also use 2 Aperture, are they MC70? Well, they're Aperture MCs. I'll put links to all this stuff in the description so you can know what I'm using. I like them because you can adjust the temperature, you can adjust the brightness. They're very small. I just put them on little tripod sticks, because you also have to remember too, we're shooting in a motorhome, and just earlier today I was soldering pickups together, so like everything has to be converted over to the next thing that we're going to do, so everything has to be kind of compact and easy. This whole setup takes about 5 or 8 minutes to set up, and we hit the button and we're off and running and we're live. So there you go. Thanks for hanging out on No Guitar Friday. Hopefully you found value in the video you saw today. Make sure you check out the links below. We've got the soldering iron and some other stuff, the stuff I was just telling you about here. You can use those links. It helps out the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, all the things you normally do as YouTube viewee people. If you have any questions about any of this stuff and you want me to dive into it more, let me know, because we have been getting some questions on the video stuff. I'll probably put that in Friday videos, because it's not as guitar related, even though it is exactly what we do. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you Monday. Or actually, in a few minutes on live, but you'll see, you know what I mean.